Hi, my name is Frank Thomas, and I had the marvelous opportunity to speak with Bishop Linwood Dillard, founding pastor of the Citadel of Deliverance Church of God in Christ in Memphis, Tennessee, about preaching. Check out this clip from our conversation. To watch the full interview, click the link at the end of the video or in the description below. I promise you, you will be blessed. So give me other preaching. Are there any other? That's enough of a mentor right there just to have one, but any other preaching
Absolutely.
mentors?
Of course, being in Memphis, our preaching heroes, Bishop Gilbert Earl Patterson, one of the most amazing, phenomenal gospel preachers anywhere. That's an understatement. And of course, being in Memphis, we probably had access to him more than the world who would see him on television. But understanding his story, his rise, and if you want to talk about the impact of growth on the church through preaching, Bishop G. Patterson is the epitome of that. And so, of course, from afar, studied his life and studied his preaching. I was enamored by his ability to be relevant, because if we can be honest, sometimes people will look at Pentecostal preachers as just emotional or unlearned, but it's very far from that. But I believe God used Bishop G.E. Patterson to show and exemplify to the world that the Pentecostal preacher's voice is necessary, is essential, it is full of the Spirit, it is spontaneous. And what would amaze me about him, obviously he's studied. Yeah. But he would preach from a manuscript from time to time, but if you really watched him, he just flowed. So just preaching inside of him. And so I started ministry at 15 years old, accepted my call and preached my first sermon. So seeing him on TV and seeing him around the city, that was such a blessing. And years later, I had an opportunity to become personally connected to Bishop Patterson, especially in his latter years. And one of his last convocations that he presided over, I may have been 28 or 29, he put me up at the International Convocation of the Church of God in Christ. One of the most nerve-wracking experiences. First of all, G. Patterson is calling you to do this, and then you are standing before the church, the entire body. But he embraced me and saw something in me and shared what he saw, and I took that as an impartation. Yes. And one of the greatest blessings or compliments, if I could use it or say it like that, is when someone would tell me, "You sound like your grandfather," or "You remind me of G. Patterson." People actually say that, and it's not that I'm trying to emulate that. I think because I studied and was mentored and was poured into by these amazing men of God, it comes out, because to the point that we're talking about legacy preaching, you know, we share what was passed down to us, what we were exposed to, what impressed us. And then of course Bishop Charles Blake was another, and is another man of God and leader who embraced us. His ability, he's a manuscript preacher, but you can also hear the depth and the thought, very broad in his approach, but then bringing it home to fit into whatever God is saying at that moment. And so those three men, I would have to say, have had an indelible impression upon our life and our preaching ministry, and I'm thankful for it. And as a younger man, of course, I did what young men do, and I hung out with my peers, but especially in my younger years, I would probably always be around the older guys, older preachers, and now that some of them are going home to be with the Lord, I understand what that was all about.